Hello anime lovers, welcome back to WoW Senpai. Today, we're counting down the top 10 most anticipated isekai and romance anime coming in 2025. Whether it's a story about reincarnated villains, supernatural adventures, or heartfelt relationships in other worlds, this lineup covers some of the most exciting titles fans have been waiting for. So sit back, relax, and let's jump into the list. Kicking off at number 10, dealing with Mikadono sisters is a breeze. The story follows Yu Ayase, who gets thrown into the Mikadono family estate. And no, he's not just a guest. He's been chosen as a candidate to become the next head of the family. But there's a catch. He has to get along with not one, not two, but three eccentric and wildly unpredictable sisters. Each one's got her own personality, from the cold beauty who acts like she's allergic to kindness, to the tsundere who probably sharpens her insults in her spare time. This is less of a breeze, and more like standing in front of three emotional typhoons armed with passive-aggressive remarks and perfect anime hair. But hey, despite the chaos, the show actually has heart. Beneath all the comedic misunderstandings, there's a story about family, connection, and trying to find your place where you least expect it. It is set to release in October 2025. Coming in at number 9, Lil Miss Vampire Can't Suck Right. It follows Luna Ishikawa, a mysterious, elegant vampire girl. Or at least, she tries to be. The problem? She absolutely sucks at sucking blood. She's clumsy, constantly hungry, and one bite away from passing out in gym class. Enter Tatsuda Otori, a calm, kind-hearted classmate who stumbles upon Luna's secret. Instead of freaking out, he offers to help her learn the vampire ropes. What makes this one special isn't just the comedy. It's the gentle way it builds trust between two awkward teens from very different worlds. And let's be honest, who doesn't want a wholesome vampire romance where the girl might faint before the kiss? It's set to premiere on July 22, 2025. Taking the number 8 spot, My Friend's Little Sister Has It In For Me. The story follows Akiteru, a high school student with one rule: no distractions. He's all about efficiency and staying far away from the drama of youth. That is until Eroha shows up. She's his best friend's little sister. Sweet and polite to the world, but when it comes to Akiteru, she turns into his personal chaos engine. She's constantly teasing him, invading his space, and derailing his perfectly structured life, as if her entire mission is to turn his calm world upside down, one smirk at a time. And as if handling Iroha wasn't enough, Akiteru finds himself surrounded by girls who each have their own way of messing with his carefully planned life. Between sarcastic remarks, surprise visits, and emotional curveballs, staying focused becomes his biggest challenge. If you're into a bit of unpredictable chemistry, this one's got you covered. It's set to premiere in October 2025. At number 7, we've got a classic underdog tale, scooped up by an S-rank adventurer. Our protagonist Lloyd, a white mage who gets kicked out of the hero's party for being too weak. No dramatic farewell. Just a cold goodbye and the door slammed in his face. But here's the twist. Lloyd isn't weak. In fact, he's been quietly mastering ancient support magic passed down by a legendary sage. The kind of power that doesn't look flashy, but makes or breaks a battle. After getting rejected, Lloyd crosses paths with an elite group of S-rank adventurers who see something in him the others didn't. They offer him a spot, not knowing they've just recruited one of the strongest hidden assets in the entire kingdom. And while Lloyd still thinks he's average, the world around him is about to find out just how wrong they were. And honestly, watching someone go from unwanted to unstoppable never gets old. Scooped up by an S-rank adventurer premieres July 10, 2025. Next up at number 6 is a power fantasy with a twist. A wild last boss appeared. The story introduces us to Rufus Mafal, a once-feared final boss from a massively popular online fantasy game. Rufus wasn't just any character. She was the strongest enemy players had to defeat at the end of the game. But 200 years after her fall, she suddenly wakes up in that very game world. Only now, it's not the player behind the screen. It's the player inside the character. Reborn as Rufus herself, the protagonist now faces a shattered world where her name still sends armies running and nations trembling. But the catch? She didn't mean to be the boss. Now she's stuck playing the part, reuniting with her old celestial allies, navigating ancient grudges, and slowly figuring out how to lead a world that still fears her shadow. With sharp world-building, morally gray decisions, and battles that test more than brute force, a wild last boss appeared, brings a heavy fantasy vibe with serious weight. The anime is set to premiere in October 2025. At number 5, we have The Barbarian's Bride. The story follows Serafina de la Villante, a high-ranking knight from the Western Kingdom. She's strong, proud, and sent deep into enemy lands to subjugate the so-called barbarians of the East. But things don't go as planned. She's captured in battle, prepared for torture, but instead, the barbarian leader, Veyor, offers her something unexpected. A proposal. Not of surrender, of marriage. What starts as a forced alliance quickly turns into a clash of cultures and personalities. Serafina learns that the people she once viewed as savages are thoughtful, loyal, and far more complex than she imagined. And Veyor? Fierce and unrelenting, but noble in his own way. He doesn't treat her as a prize, but as a partner. If you like your romance with steel, strategy, and soul, The Barbarian's Bride belongs on your list. The anime is set premieres October 2025. Sliding into number 4, we have Mechanical Marie. The story follows Marie, a former martial artist who now works undercover in a mansion, pretending to be an emotionless, perfectly obedient mechanical maid. But behind the cold stare and stiff posture, she's all human, and secretly protecting her master Arthur from the shadows. Her mission? Don't break character, keep Arthur safe, and absolutely no getting attached. Arthur, on the other hand, he's hopelessly in love with his robot maid. Yup, man's crushing hard on a girl he thinks runs on software. Every day, Marie plays the part, calm, cold, efficient, while secretly dodging blades, disarming bombs, and yeeting assassins out the window. All while Arthur just assumes his maid bot is exceptionally well programmed. It's hilarious and kind of sweet, because even with all the danger, their relationship starts to shift. The Mechanical Marie anime is scheduled to premiere in fall 2025. Coming in hot at number 3, Onmyo Kaiten, Rebirth Verse. It throws us into a warped, neon-lit version of Kyoto, where spiritual magic and futuristic tech collide. Our protagonist? Takeru Narihira, a high school delinquent with zero plans, zero discipline, and one recurring dream about a mysterious girl named Tsukumiya. But when a freak encounter leads to both of them getting killed by a monster, yeah, that escalated fast, Takeru wakes up again. Same place, same moment. It's a time loop, and Tsukumiya's fate is sealed, unless he can find a way to break the cycle. Enter Abe no Seimei, a legendary onmyoji with a personality sharper than his spells. Takeru becomes his reluctant student, learning ancient magic to rewrite destiny, protect Tsukumiya, and maybe grow into someone capable of saving more than just her. The anime is set to release on July 2, 2025. Next up at number 2, we have The Stunned Hero and the Assassin Princesses. Our unlucky hero is Todo, a strong E-rank adventurer with the muscle of a warrior and the confidence of a damp towel. He's got one fatal flaw. Anytime he's around women or romantic tension, boom, instant blackout. Naturally, he gets recruited by 3 gorgeous assassin princesses who claim they want to form a party. Sweet deal, right? Wrong. Each one of them secretly plans to kill him, and they take turns, like a deadly game of who gets the final stab. There's Ciel, the cool and calculating type, Anemone, who's all smiles and hidden daggers, and Goa, the explosive one who thinks subtlety is for cowards. The best part? He doesn't even know they're trying to kill him. So while he's fumbling through daily quests and awkward bonding moments, these girls are silently arguing over how to off him, and maybe why they're starting to feel conflicted. It's set to premiere on July 5, 2025. At number 1, we've got the dark history of the reincarnated Villainess. The story follows Konoha Satu, who dies and wakes up not just in any fantasy world, but inside the dark, dramatic story she herself wrote back in her teenage years. The catch? She's reincarnated as Iana Magnolia, the evil noblewoman with a flair for theatrics and a bad habit of getting murdered in her own plot. Now, she has to survive a story she made way too edgy, avoid every death flag she built for her character, and try not to cringe herself into a coma every time someone quotes her old dialogue back at her. Between brooding love interests, magical showdowns, and a little sister who's technically the actual heroine, Iana's in for a wild ride. One filled with chaos, comedy, and just enough heart to pull you in. It's a must-watch for anyone who's ever said, "I'd survive my own fantasy world," and then immediately regretted it. The Dark History of the Reincarnated Villainess drops October 2025. So, which one made you scream, "I need this in my life"? Let me know in the comments, or just drop a heart emoji if you like the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell, because Truck-kun isn't the only one coming back for more. Catch you next time.